Hi, my name is Russell De La Pena, and I wanted to thank you for visiting us here at tenantbuyerlist.com. I want to give you 12 reasons why you might want to consider selling your home, lease to own, or rent to buy. The first one is that if you're planning on selling your home in the next 5 years, and currently you've got the home marketed for rent, by far, hands down, the best way to make the experience the most enjoyable is to extend terms to a potential buyer today, someone who is looking to rent the home for the next 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 years from now, with the option to buy that home at some point in the future. So they would go to a bank and they would qualify at some point in the future when they would cash you out. So that's a great reason for anybody to consider to start with selling their home rent to own. Number two is that you never want to be a landlord. I don't know about you, but if the idea of fixing properties that you own or even your own home late at night or early in the morning on the weekends, fixing leaky roofs or stopped up water faucets, whatever, if the idea of doing that is not exciting for you, selling your home rent to own is a great idea. It's a great way to avoid having to do that. And the reason that's the case through us is that we make our buyers responsible for the first $5,000 in any kind of repair. So if the roof starts leaking or the toilet stopped up or whatever, these folks aren't going to be calling you late in the evening or on the weekends asking you to fix their property because they're going to be responsible for the first $5,000 in any kind of repair whatsoever. So number two, if you don't want to be a landlord, it's a great reason why you want to consider doing this. Number three, if you plan on selling your property and you want to get the full asking price, you don't want to take a huge hit. Most folks hear the word investor or working with somebody who's got the name investor, and they think, oh, well, they're going to offer me 50% of what I want. Not the case with us. We don't care honestly what you want to sell the property for, as long as it makes sense to the market. The market ultimately is going to make determination whether they think it's a good idea or not of how much you're selling it for. So if you want to sell for your full asking price, you can do that, and if it's a fair price, it'll sell. It'll sell quickly, and predominantly the rental amount is going to be the biggest key. Although your purchase price has got to be priced well, you typically can get about 10 to even 20% higher. But when you're doing your rental amount, you want to make sure that's priced right with the market and the going rates. There's different types of opinions about that, and people with different ideas on how to do that. And you should raise it $100 or $200. I think it's a big mistake, and all the folks that we've worked with over the years ultimately have to lower their price anyway to get it sold. So you have a little bit of wiggle room on the purchase price, but not in the rental. Number four, you don't want to pay any commissions. Working with tenantbuyerlist.com, there are no commissions or fees. You will never pay us a dime. We're not realtors. We represent ourselves. We act as principals in the transaction. So that means we don't represent you or the buyers. We're not trying to broker your property. We don't want to put it on the MLS. We're essentially selling or assigning the contracts over to tenant buyers that have come to us, that have contacted us asking for a property that meets your criteria or it's similar to your property. And we're just trying to match you folks up with our tenant buyers. So if you don't want to pay any commissions, not a problem. They are the ones who pay us. They pay us directly. They pay us one time. It's up front. They'll pay you as well. And so there are no out of fee pockets on their part, no broker fees, no MLS fees, nothing. Number five, if you want to sell your home as is and don't want to add any more money into it, you don't want to fix anything else or upgrade it anymore, selling this way is great because you don't need to. You can sell the home as is, and contractually, that's exactly how we sell the home. Number six, if you don't want to hire a property manager and have them take 8-10% of your monthly rent each month, you don't have to, because in our program, again, we make our tenant buyers responsible for the first $5,000 in any kind of repair. So the activity that your property manager would be doing, it's already done. So you don't need to do that and don't need to worry about paying anybody extra out of your pocket to do that, because it's going to be taken care of. Our folks will take care of the property. Number seven, if you don't want to put any ugly signs in your yard and have all of your curious neighbors coming by your house to take a look at it, you don't need to, because all of our marketing is done all throughout the internet. We've spent a lot of money and time and energy in building tenant buyer lists. We continue to do more marketing. We spend a lot of money each month in marketing. to educate renters on the fact that they can buy a home rent to own instead of just renting. And so we build these lists, and that's why we're able to fill properties so quickly, and that's why we're contacting you right now. It's because we've got tenant buyers that have requested a property close to you in your area, or maybe they even are interested in your specific property, and that's why we're contacting you. That's why you're watching this video. So it's one of the two, and you don't need to have an ugly sign in your yard in order to get your home sold, because 98+% of all folks that are starting their home search, whether it's a rental or a straight purchase, start on the internet, and that's how they find us. That's how we find them. That's how we found you. So number 8, if you owe more on the home than it's currently worth, if you owe the bank more than it's worth, you're underwater, as it's called. Selling your home rent to own is great for 2 reasons. One, you can increase the price, as I mentioned earlier, to not have to come out of pocket at closing, or you can decide on the purchase price at some time in the future. If you owe more, way more than it's worth, and you want to extend out your lease term, so that you don't ever have to come out of pocket. And you also want to consider that you need about 1.5 to 2% of your closing cost calculated in there as well. So anyway, we help you with all these things when we speak. Feel free to send us an email or with any questions you have, or even put us in contact with your attorney. That's okay too. Happy to answer any of those questions for you. So if you owe more on the home than it's worth, selling rent to own, there's different ways to creatively structure the transaction to where it doesn't hurt you and come out of pocket, and you're not paying anything more than you need to. If you're planning on moving out of state, selling rent to own is great, because again, we make our tenant buyers responsible for the first $5,000 in any kind of repair. So you don't need to be here to fix anything as a traditional landlord would, or you don't need a property manager to do the same, because our folks are going to be responsible for the first $5,000 in any kind of repair. So it's just as simple as that. If you're looking for number 10, if you're looking for a bigger security deposit, so you have more security, selling rent to own allows you to do that. We require them to put a bigger security deposit down, handed directly to you from them. So you get a cashier's check. They hand deliver it to you once you've approved of them, and only you approve of them first before we assign the option over to them. So you get a security deposit, also known as the option fee, which is typically going to be about 2 times the rental amount or security deposit that you're currently asking for. So it's more money. It's non-refundable, and so we structure it so it's flat out more safe for you, hands down. Number 11, it's a transaction that's there's less risk, because again, you've got somebody who's put down double the security deposit. They know it's non-refundable from the day one. And so they've got more skin in the game. These are folks that have the mindset of home ownership in the future versus just somebody who wants to rent your home, who might thrash it later on, because they don't view it as being their home in the future. These are folks that we work with that ultimately want to achieve home ownership. They've had some challenges in the past, maybe with their credit, or they don't have enough down payment, not enough time on their job, or they're overextended in real estate. And so their whole goal is to not be a renter, it's to be a homeowner. They typically are going to be the mindset of folks that are going to take care of your property better. And number 12, finally, if you want to rent/sell your home quickly, selling your home rent to own and getting your full asking price and doing it within 7 to 14 days through tenantbuyerlist.com is our average. Probably the quickest I've done is maybe 5 to 6 days, start to finish. We average about 7 to 14 days, and it really just depends on your rental amount. If you price the rental amount appropriately with the market, you'll sell it quickly. If you listen to these people that on the internet are saying that you should increase your rental amount $100 to $200 for buyer credits, unfortunately, you're just going to price yourself out of the market, and the home's going to sit, and you're going to have to lower the price anyway. So we recommend that you price it correctly from the start. So those are the 12 reasons why we think that selling your home rent to own is the best option for you. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a call, 310-736-7173, or send me an email. You can send it directly back to the email that you've already gotten from me. I'd be happy to answer any of your questions. If you have a realtor or an attorney, happy to answer any questions that they might have as well. And we look forward to working with you. Hope that you give us a shot and at least explore this option with us a little bit more. I've got a free ebook on the website. Feel free to download that anytime. It's free. There's no obligation to sell with us if you don't want to. But we hope that you'll consider this instead of being a landlord or short selling your home or do anything crazy like that when you don't have to. There are definitely options that you can choose. Okay, thanks so much again. My name is Russell Della Pena, and I appreciate you stopping by. Bye-bye.